Okay, so I just got back from watching the 2022 version of Agatha Christie's Death on the Nile. And first of all, I'll straight up say I did really enjoy this film. And this film, unlike the obviously the only other version I've seen is the 1978 version, and I haven't read the book, so yeah. But I did notice, even from the synopsis of the book, there's quite a few changes in this one. To it. Not major things for the most part. Generally, it's just things. For example, this film opens up with around a 15-20 minute opening about the. No joke, it's the origins of Poirot's mustache. And the thing is that, yeah, it doesn't really play a massive thing in the film. I don't know. Because this film does feel a lot longer. I'd say the pacing of this one isn't as good as Murder on the Orient Express 2017, I think that version came out, or was it 2018? I'd say the pacing isn't quite as good on this one, for example, but as soon, as the death happens on the Nile, that's when it really starts to pick up the pacing a lot more. Something I was disappointed in is that there's a lot more CGI used in this one. For example, basically all of like the backgrounds, like for example the water and the sky and that, they're all CGI, and it's obvious that the actors are performing in front of a green screen, which does become painfully obvious in certain scenes in the film. I don't think Murder on the Orient Express suffered from it as much, mainly because it was much more of an enclosed space within a train, whereas this one's obviously, you know, on a ship or on a boat on the Nile. So yeah, it does look really good though. The cinematography and the directing and that is as good as ever. Doing a lot. There's a lot of creative shots and that in there, and yeah, and also Pro's mustache this time around doesn't look as ridiculous as it looked last time. It's shortened down a bit from it was previously. Previously, it went nearly to his ears, whereas this time it's not quite as long as it was before. So yeah, but again, there were a few changes to this one, and whether you'll like the change or not, I don't know. But the changes to it don't really affect the story that much, but it did mean there was one slight surprise towards the end where I won't. Minor spoilers in 3, 2, 1, but basically another character is filling in the role of an absent character in this. So yeah, basically a different character is filling in an absent role here, and kind of joint roles. Again, not a spoil it. Although, I'll be honest, if you know the story of Death on the Nile, like if you've seen any version of it, or if you've obviously read the original book, then yeah, you basically know what is going to happen in this film. But there were still a couple of surprises in there, just so that it wasn't just a pointless, remake of it. It does have some differences to it, and I will definitely be buying this on 4K Blu-ray when it does inevitably come out. So yeah, and you had to wait a while. I had to wait a while for this film to come out. Like, this was, I think, my most anticipated film of this year and last year and the year before. 'Cause it was meant to come out. Originally, it was set for October 9th. 2020 was when it was meant to come out, and then it got delayed until 2021, and now it's finally arrived here now. So yeah, I'd say if you enjoyed the most recent version of Murder on the Orient Express, then yeah, I'd highly recommend it. And if you enjoy, obviously murder mystery stories, absolutely. But this film does feel more of its length than I'd say Murder on the Orient Express did. I think it does, just because it's a lot longer, and it feels like in the first half, like it's just trying, to get things through. I mean, the original film did this pretty well by splitting things up a bit more and being a bit shorter, whereas this one, does the opposite of making things a lot longer, but it does make things a lot more visually interesting in places, and there's a lot more creative shots in places. Do I prefer it to the 78 version? I don't know. I think I might have to watch it a few more times when it comes out in order to do that. But performances were also really strong across the board. All the cast was absolutely fantastic in this one, and hopefully, this means that we'll get more from here on out. And yeah, hopefully we might, get. I'm assuming probably the next one, if they do another one, it'll probably be Evil Under the Sun. I'm guessing. I'm guessing it'll be Evil Under the Sun, because that seems to be the way that they go with these. But yeah, and even a couple of it seems to be more also conjointed with Murder on the Orient Express. It seemed, there's a couple of things on there. For example, at the end, you might remember at the end of Murder on the Orient Express, basically, spoiler alert for that one, but the way that one ends is that basically a driver basically meets Poirot at the station at the end of the film, and basically says, "Oh, there's trouble on the bloody Nile," and you think, "Oh, okay, that actually does follow up and plays into this one." So yeah, not in major ways, at least for the most part, but yeah, it does kind of connect the two a bit more, because and feeling less disjointed. It's not like massive continuity or anything. That isn't the case with that. You don't need to see the previous film at all in order to enjoy this. So you just need to basically know the gist of, like, Poirot is a famous detective, and he basically is the smartest person in the room, whichever room he is in, and that's basically all you need to know about that. So yeah, but I do highly recommend it. I do really highly recommend it. Is it my favourite film of this year so far? I don't know, because so far it is being Netflix's The House, and I think that might still top this film slightly, slightly. But still, this is a really fantastic film, and yeah, it was worth the wait. So yeah, go out and see it.